Okay, so we're live on YouTube, just waiting on the key. Okay, I got the key to put it into Just a Word TV. And we got it here. So what is that? All right, welcome everyone once again to another broadcast here on Just a Word TV. Let me pin this. Yes, welcome once again to another broadcast here on Just a Word. We are live. Let me give you the link, Janet, for Just a Word TV as soon as it comes up. It's going a little bit slow. Okay, the link is here. Yeah. No, can't come around. You must prepare before. You're not getting anything. Where was I again? Yes. To get the link. Oh yes, to get the link for Just a Word TV. Let me get it. Oh. Then we will get started. All right, let me get it in the chat. There it is. What does it mean to fear Yahuah? That is what we're looking at today. And the answer to this is very surprising how this is not largely taught. It's one of those things that is not largely taught, and you're wondering why. But we have been slaves to the religions of the Gentiles. And of course, the religions of the Gentiles are given in order to let us be in darkness. All right? Now, the fear of Yahuah should be one of the primary things that is taught, because without it, we are nothing. Without it, we are nothing in Yahuah. Everything starts and stops with the fear of Yahuah. And the reason Christianity is in the state that it is in is because they have no fear of Yahuah. And because they have no fear of him, then all the benefits that come with fearing Yahuah have been withholden from them. And when you ask Christians, if you go and search, what does it mean to fear the Lord, as they call him, as they erroneously call him? When you search for that, you will see things like it is a reverential fear, or to stand in awe of his majesty, or anything but to say it is literally also to be afraid All right, you hearing me now? All right. Yeah, they do anything but to say that it is also a fear and a dread of him, because of course this quote unquote, this commercial God that the Catholics have given us is one that you don't have to fear, you don't have to dread. He is the Yahuah of our dreams. Whatever we want him to be, whatever we dream of in him, he is such. And so we don't have to fear him. We don't have to dread him because he's nice. He tolerates us. He loves sinners and he hates the sin, but he loves the sinners. And all of those things that they say to make him commercial, because he's a commercial God, which allows them to fill the churches and to get the monetary commercial system going. Fill the churches, make people feel good. They leave their tithes and offerings, and the pastor goes home happy, and the churches continue to be built and to be sustained. The whole system continues. So what we are given, we are not actually given the Most High. We are actually given God, who is not, of course, the Most High. So as I was saying before, without the fear of Yahuah, we have nothing. And we're going to see that today. I don't want to go into details in the summary, but we're going to see that just as we cannot follow the Messiah without denying ourselves, if we do not fear Yahuah, there is no salvation in the end for us. Because everything, every good thing comes from the fear of Yahuah. And if you don't fear Yahuah, you are none of his. You cannot be his people. Which is why Christianity and Christians are not his people. All right? Of course, I'm not saying that they are not they are unsavable. Of course, that would go into other things as to him judging their hearts, and they are in this deception, so he winks at their ignorance. I'm not talking about that. I am saying that as a religion, Christians do not fear Yahuah. They have no dread of him. They have no fear whatsoever of him. And when you don't have the fear of Yahuah, and this is also an indictment on our group does not know the fear of Yahuah, the true fear of Yahuah, which is why we are so lethargic in almost everything that we do. Bible says, let your A's be your A's and your nays be nays. Our people in our group, when we say a yes, that is a maybe. You fear Yahuah, a yes is a yes. Yes? And there are a whole lot of things that come from it, and we're going to see. Every believer in our group needs to know the fear of Yahuah. If you do not fear Yahuah, then your salvation is in trouble, because everything comes from it. And so let's go into scripture to let you see exactly what I'm saying, because the fear of Yahuah and keeping his commandments go hand in hand, and it connects to wisdom, it connects to knowledge, it connects to understanding, it connects to the Torah. Without it, we are nothing as believers. We have to fear the Most High. So the first thing we want to look at is what does it mean to fear Yahuah? Because the Christians will tell you, as I said before, it's reverential fear. Oh, you don't need to be afraid of him. You cannot be afraid of him. He's God. You cannot be afraid of God. No, it's reverential fear. Okay, let's see. So reader, get ready. Tehillim 119 verse 120. Psalm 119 verse 120.
My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgment.
All right, you see that? My flesh trembleth for fear of thee. Oh no, you don't have to be afraid of him. David was afraid of him, and David was a man of his own heart, because David is afraid of his judgments. I'm going to give a couple of my testimonies that I think I've given before, but I think it's opportune time again of what it means by I am afraid of thy judgments. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee. This is utter dread, true fear. Let's go to Yahuah 66 verse 2. I have so many scriptures, I don't think I can do it all in one day. So many. And we overlook this. Read verse 2, please.
Verse 2. For all those things had mine hand made, and all those things have been, said Yahuah. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word.
And do what?
Trembleth at my word.
Tremble at his word. This is the fear of Yahuah. You don't look to his word and say, oh, and you try to add and subtract and say, okay, he said that, but I believe that, and I believe that. This is what you get from Christianity. Say to them, Christmas is wrong, but I've decided I decided that I'm going to keep his birthday. Nothing is wrong with me honoring his birthday. No, you tremble at his word. So when his word said, you shall keep my feasts, these are the feasts that you shall give to the children of Israel. When he says that, you go and you keep his feasts. You don't add or subtract from the word. When that true fear is in you, you tremble at his word. So whatever his word say, you go and you do it. Yahuah 5:22. Read, please.
5:22. Fear ye not me, said Yahuah. Will ye not tremble at my presence?
Stop there. Fear ye not me. So he's going to tell you what it means to fear him. Continue.
Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand?
Okay. Will ye not tremble at my presence? This is what it means to fear him. To be sore afraid of him. Will you not tremble? You tremble when you are fearful. At my presence. Continue.
Which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by the perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet they not pass over it.
So aren't you afraid of my awesome might? Aren't you afraid? Verse 23.
But these people had a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone.
Continue.
Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear Yahuah, our Elohah, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter. In his season, he reserved unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest.
All right, 25.
Scroll up a little bit. 25. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins are withholding good things from you.
So this is a barrier now between the fear of Yahuah, sins and iniquity. All right, this is why they cannot fear him. So that is why when you're in a sinful state, when you're in a carnal state, you cannot fear Yahuah. If you have the desires of your heart, as I always say that Christianity is a carnal religion, if you are carnal, you cannot fear the Most High. Yahuah 10:28. Read, please.
10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So the Christians love the New Testament. Haven't they read this? This is the Messiah telling you that you have to fear Yahuah. And he's telling you why you have to fear him. Not a reverential fear because, oh, you're standing in awe of him. No, because he's able to destroy you. You fear the one that is able to destroy not only your body, because man is restricted to the body. But the Most High, who can destroy your body and your soul in hell. So this is the fear of Yahuah. Reverential fear, yes. Fear in awe of his majesty, yes. But it is also a dread of him and what he can do to you. Fear. Yes? Always takes me back to when you are in school and you have a strict principal. You fear that principal, but when you leave school, that is the principal who you speak about the most because of his discipline. That is the one you love the most because of how strict and disciplined he is. So that is a fear of Yahuah. You love him with all your heart, mind, and soul, but you also fear him. All right. Isaiah 11 verse 2. Prophecy of the Messiah as one who also feared Yahuah. And we see this throughout his life. Right? He feared Yahuah. When he said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Isaiah 11 verse 2. Read, please.
Verse 2. And the spirit of Yahuah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuah.
Spirit of the fear of Yahuah. Right? And as 1 John 2:6 says, he that saith he abideth in him also ought himself to walk even as he walked. So just as the Messiah walked in the fear of Yahuah, we should also walk in the fear of Yahuah. So let's look at an account of the fear of Yahuah. 2 Chronicles 19, 4-11. This was the good king, Jehoshaphat. Read from verse 4, please.
And Jehoshaphat dwelt in Jerusalem, and he went out again through the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto Yahuah the Elohah of their father.
He said he brought them back. All right, they were in error, they were in transgressions, in sin, and Jehoshaphat brought them back. And we're gonna see what he did to bring them back. Verse 5.
And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city.
And he said, verse 6.
And said to the judges, take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for what Yahuah who is with you in the judgment.
But for Yahuah who is with you in the judgment. All right? That's why you have to fear him. As David says, he trembled because of he's sore afraid because of his judgment. Verse 7.
Wherefore now let the fear of Yahuah be upon you, take heed and do it, for there is no iniquity with Yahuah or Elohah, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts.
All right. So take heed and do it. Walk in obedience to his word, to his statutes, his laws, and his commandments. And as he said in another place, be ye holy as I am holy, because there is no iniquity with Yahuah. Because Yahuah is holy, then we too must be holy. And he does not respect of persons. A lot of us think that the relationship that we have with Yahuah is our ticket into the kingdom. That is a grave error. Even the Apostle Shaul says he keeps his body under subjection, lest after having preached, he finds himself to be a castaway. And let us not forget Moses, who never entered the promised land, as an example. And let us remember Abihu and Nadab, the two sons of Aaron, who brought strange fire and were destroyed. They were priests, highly ranked priests. So the Most High is not a respecter of persons. Do not let the relationship that you have with him let you feel as if you're okay to do this and to do that. Takes no gifts. You can't bribe him. Verse 8.
Moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat set of the Levites and of the priests, and to the chief of the father of Israel, for the judgment of Yahuah and for controversies when they return to Jerusalem.
So because of the fear of Yahuah, Jehoshaphat set up the Levitical priesthood in order to judge the people, in order to set Yahuwah's way among the people. Verse 9.
And they, verse 9, and they charged them, saying,
Wayne,
thus,
you have been miscalling a few of the small words.
Okay, and he, my bad. And he charged them, saying, thus shall he do in the fear of Yahuah, faithfully and with a perfect heart.
All right. Thus shall ye do in the fear of Yahuah, faithfully and with a perfect heart. When you are in the fear of Yahuah, you do everything what? Faithfully. That's why I'm telling you, our group does not know the fear of Yahuah. Starting with us, he says, judgment begins at the house of Yahuah. Starting with us, we do not know the fear of Yahuah because we are not faithful in executing the work of Yahuah that is charged to us. Gideon, can you mute please? Gideon, mute please. And with a perfect heart. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And what cause soever shall come to you of your brethren that dwell in their cities, between blood and blood, between law and commandments, statutes and judgment, ye shall even warn them that they trespass not against Yahuah, and so wrath come upon you and upon your brethren. This do, and ye shall not trespass.
Here is the wrath of Yahuah. This is why you fear him. Judge righteously, do what is right, do faithfully with a perfect heart, right? And warn others that they do not trespass against Yahuah. This is a fear, because if you trespass against him and his wrath come upon you and upon your brethren, right? This is a serious thing. Verse 11.
And behold, Amariah, the chief priest, is over you in all matters of Yahuah, and Zebadiah, the son of Ishmael, the ruler of the house of Judah, for all the king's matters. Also the Levites shall be officers before you. Deal courageously, and Yahuah shall be with the good.
You see that? This is what the fear of Yahuah has another side to it. And this is the brilliance of the Most High. All good things come when you fear Yahuah. Rejection, destruction when you don't fear him, but everything good you get when you fear him. So it says, deal courageously. That means when you have the fear of Yahuah, you have to be courageous in all that you do, because it is going to require sacrifice, self-sacrifice. All right? But in the end, you will get your reward. He shall be with the good. Yeah? So, we're going to show once again why certain people cannot and will not receive the wisdom and the knowledge of the Most High. A lot of people take up the Bible and read in the Bible. The Most High, the Bible, the scriptures are so great. They lock out people. Yes? It requires the wisdom of the Most High. And people said, oh, the Bible was written by man. They'd have no understanding whatsoever. It was written by men under inspiration, and that inspiration is so great that it requires a key to open up the wisdom that is in it. That is why we can be preaching to people and they have no understanding. They cannot get what we're saying. And we're saying, but can't they get it? No, they can't get it, because it requires the spirit of truth to open up their understanding. And that spirit of truth and wisdom, knowledge, understanding is only given to those who fear Yahuah. That's it. They are reserved for those who fear Yahuah. So those who really truly want to move up and rise up in the word and in understanding, you better be afraid of Yahuah. Not only fear him reverentially and say, oh, I worship you. No, be fearful of him. And when you are fearful of him, let me tell you and explain what it means. It might sound, how can you be telling me to be fearful of him? When you are fearful of him, it humbles you. When it humbles you before him, then the Spirit can work in you. Whenever pride comes in, the Spirit backs away because self comes to the forefront, chases away the Spirit. When you humble yourself before Yahuah, you make yourself as nothing before him. He lifts you up by giving you his Spirit, giving you his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding. Yes, and that is why the word says, he sees the proud from afar, but he giveth favor or grace to the humble. So fearing him is actually being humble before him. And that is when he will lift you up. Job 28, verse 20 to 21. Read, please.
28:20. Whence then cometh wisdom? And where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living, and kept close from the fowl of the air.
You see that? Wisdom and understanding is hidden from the eyes of all living. It is the Most High who gives the wisdom and understanding when you fear him. And that's why there are two different wisdom in this earth. You have the wisdom of the people in the earth. Have you ever listened to doctors and lawyers know how dumb they are? And you with your little, they would call you a bird brain, are so much wiser than them, and you hear them speaking and you're saying, well, how can these people be so educated? I was watching, looking at Shamuel's page, and Shamuel was speaking about his PhD friend who was arguing with, and he just couldn't see how this man with a PhD couldn't see that Bill Gates is evil. And he does not have the wisdom of the Most High. He has the wisdom of the world because he was schooled in the way of the world. But the true wisdom is hidden from the eyes of all living and only given to those who obey Yahuah. And those who obey Yahuah, of course, are given his Holy Spirit that leads into all truth. But verse 28 says,
28.
Job was just saying, where comes wisdom? It is hidden from all things. But what did he say in verse 28? Read, please.
And unto man is said, behold, the fear of Yahuah, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
You got that? Let's look at the connection. Whence cometh wisdom, and where is the place of understanding, seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living and kept close from the fowls of the air? Right? Here is the key to unlock it. The fear of Yahuah. That is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. So when you fear Yahuah, you receive his wisdom. And when you receive his wisdom, then you will know that you are to obey him. And then when you obey him, you depart from evil. And that is when you get understanding. You see that, Wayne?
Yep.
Did I explain? Okay. Just want to make sure I explain it enough because it's so key.
Yeah, it is also just so plain, but because if you're not searching, you will not find it.
All right. And that's a good point to make, that today's presentation is very clear and plain right before us. But if you're not, as you said before, if he has not given you his wisdom, you won't find it. Sirach Whoa, if you want to understand, talk about the fear of Yahuwah, go read the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 19, verse 20. Read, please.
The fear of Yahuwah is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law, and the knowledge of his omnipotency.
All right, you're gonna see how Christianity is cut out and ripped up and shredded and shown to be garbage. The fear of Yahuwah is all wisdom. And of course, we said fear is reverential fear plus and trembling dread of him and his judgments. Right? He says that is all wisdom. And in all wisdom is the performance of the law. So you cannot fear Yahuwah without doing the law, without obeying his law. So Christians who say the law is done away with, they are not in all wisdom because they do not fear Yahuwah and they do not perform the law. And the knowledge of his omnipotency. All right? So it's the fear of Yahuwah that is going to give us the knowledge of his omnipotency as well, of his power. And of course, this matches the fear of Yahuwah is all wisdom. It matches one of our favorite verses. Tehillim 1:11. These verses, you have to know them by heart. I repeat them over and over. You must know them by heart, out of your head. Psalm 111, verse 10. Read, please.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom.
Stop. That is where wisdom starts. If you do not fear Yahuwah, if you are not afraid of him, if you are not in reverential fear and awe of him, then no wisdom starts with you. You have no wisdom. That's why we're telling you, the Christians have no wisdom. That's why we are saying, can't they understand it? No, they do not have the wisdom to understand it because they have no fear of Yahuwah. Read it again, please.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, a good understanding of all they that do his commandments.
All right. All right. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and then that wisdom will lead you to do his commandments, and doing his commandments will give you a good understanding. Now, if you reject his commandments and say his commandments are done away with, how can you get a good understanding and how can you get wisdom? Impossible. Continue. His praise.
His praise endureth forever.
All right. So let's go back to Sirach. Sirach 15, 1 to 10. This is going to show us the connection between Torah, wisdom, understanding, knowledge, fear of Yahuwah. Read, please.
He that feareth Yahuwah will do good, and he that hath the knowledge.
Stop. He that feareth Yahuwah will do good. This is what we are saying, that it is the fear of Yahuwah where wisdom begins, and wisdom is in obeying his commandments. That fear will drive you. If you do not fear him, let me make a point. When you are in school, if you have no fear of your teacher, you're not going to obey. If you have a heart to disobey. All right? If you do not fear Yahuwah, if you do not fear his judgments, fear what will happen if, then you are going to get lethargic because the flesh is always going to creep in. Remember, the flesh and the spirit are always at war. The flesh is always going to creep in and let you have your way. Say, oh, Joe, all right, I'll do that later. Oh, he said I should do that, but there's nothing if I do this. Okay, he says I should worship on the Sabbath, but I feel like worshiping on the Sunday. My mother was a Sunday worshiper, my grandmother. So it's nothing if I worship on a Sunday. Right? No fear of Yahuwah. But the person who fears Yahuwah says it's a Sabbath and he is serious. He doesn't play. So I keep the Sabbath. That's the difference with fearing him. If you don't fear him, you're going to do your own way. And the devil is going to have an inlet in you. If you fear him, even when the enemy tries to come in with something, that fear of Yahuah is going to trip in and say, I better not, because I know I'm not going to play with my father, because I know he's serious. All right? Continue.
What? 2? Okay,
Verse 1.
and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her.
All right. The fear of Yahuah is tied into the Torah. He that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. Her here is speaking about wisdom. Everything starts with wisdom. And wisdom is tied into the knowledge of the law. You cannot have wisdom without having the knowledge of Torah. Impossible. Continue in verse 2. Remember, we're speaking about wisdom. When you hear she, it's wisdom. Continue.
And as a mother shall she meet him, and receive him as a wife married of a virgin.
All right, so here it is now. It all begins with the fear, right? And the knowledge of the law. And because of this, it's like a marriage between us and wisdom. Yes? Wisdom meets us and receives us as a wife married to of a virgin. Verse 3.
Verse 3. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink.
So just because you fear Yahuah and you have understanding of Torah, wisdom meets you and starts to feed you with understanding and more wisdom. That's how it works. So anyone who rejects Torah is short of wisdom, will not get the wisdom and will not be able to understand certain things if you don't fear Yahuah. Continue.
He shall be stayed upon her, and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her, and shall not be confounded.
All right, so wisdom now is going to pilot. It's like a marriage with you and wisdom, which means that you will continue to grow in wisdom. Simple. Verse 5.
She shall exalt him above his neighbors, and in the midst of the congregation shall she open his mouth.
Wisdom, man, wisdom shall exalt him above his neighbors. And I know many of you have this experience of having the wisdom that is above your neighbors, people who are around you. And you think that even people are more exalted than you are because of the wisdom that has been given to you through the fear of Yahuah. Verse 6.
He shall find joy and a crown of gladness, and she shall cause him to inherit an everlasting name.
You see everything? You see all of this that is coming from the fear of Yahuah? Everything, understanding, knowledge, life, everything comes from the fear of Yahuah. Joy, gladness. And not only that, she shall cause him. It is wisdom that causes us to inherit an everlasting name. Everlasting name refers to inheriting the kingdom. Fear of Yahuah. Everything comes from the fear of Yahuah. Verse 7.
But foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her.
Hey, so you see that? Wisdom is withholden from sinners. So if I say the law is done and I'm now under grace, I am foolish and I'm also a sinner because sin is transgression in the law. So if I transgress the law, I am a Sunday worshiper. They cannot get understanding. Don't listen to any Sunday people try to teach you. They have no understanding whatsoever because they do not have the fear of Yahuah. They do not have understanding of his Torah. Wisdom and understanding and knowledge is withholden from them. Verse 8.
8. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her.
Oh, remember I said earlier that the reason that you have to fear Yahuah is because it humbles you from before him and moves pride from you. Here it is. Wisdom stays far away from pride. So when you fear Yahuah, wisdom hugs you up and said, yes, you are humble. Come, let me fill you. Verse 9.
9. Praise is not seemly in the mouth of a sinner, for it was not sent him of Yahuah.
Yeah, even this now. The Most High even rejects their praises and they don't even know. Those who deliberately profane the law, workers of iniquity, lawless, who deliberately see the law and trample upon it, right? The Most High did not send them to utter his praises. And here's why, verse 10.
For praise shall be uttered in wisdom, and Yahuah will prosper it.
You see that? Wisdom is even required to utter praise. So the fear of Yahuah is even required to utter praise. That is why he did not send the praises in the mouth of sinners. Oh, boy. He did not send the praises in the mouth of sinners. Right? And Yahuah will prosper it as long as the praise is uttered in wisdom. The Most High will prosper it.
So in other words, are we to understand that when a sinner is praising, we have to wonder who they are praising?
That's it. And that is why they pray. Most of them they praise God, who of course is not is a made up version of the Most High. But the Most High blinks when we have the heart to worship the Most High. He winks at our ignorance. But now that the word is out, he commands every man everywhere to repent. A repeat of what happened in the time of the Apostle Shaul when he went over to Greece, I think it was. Sirach 19:24.
He that hath small understanding and feareth Yahuah is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
All right. That's how important it is. Wisdom and understanding. Proverbs 15. That's how important the fear of Yahuah is. Proverbs 15:16. Go.
15:16. Better is little with the fear of Yahuah than great treasure and trouble therewith.
All right. So great treasure comes the trouble. So this is what we are saying. We have to be satisfied with what we have, but we walk in the fear of Yahuwah. We won't have great trouble with our treasures. Verse 17.
Better is
No, verse 32. And no. Verse 32.
32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof.
Oh, he that refuseth instruction. Wow.
Despiseth his own soul.
His own soul. Continue, but he that?
But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding.
All right. So when people reprove us and everything, let us put pride away. As long as we know that it's not done in malice, we just humble ourselves and listen. All right? If it connects with us, then we hear the reproof. Verse 33.
The fear of Yahuah is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.
You see that again, once again? When I said that to fear Yahuwah is to be humble before him, and then that is when wisdom comes in. You cannot have wisdom or true wisdom unless you are humble, unless you fear before the Most High, unless you tremble at his word, unless you are faithful to his word. Proverbs 2. Read, please.
Proverbs 2, verse 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee,
Continue.
so that thou
Yeah.
incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasure, then shalt thou understand the fear of Yahuah and find the knowledge of Allah.
Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Look at that. If you receive my words and hide my commandments, these are all factors that are necessary in the fear of Yahuah for us to be complete. And to be complete means to be ready to receive wisdom, and wisdom will come unto us, and wisdom will make its abode with us. So the Spirit will lead us, the Holy Spirit will lead us into all truth. When we receive his words, we hide his commandments with us, we incline our ears unto wisdom and apply understanding to us. If we cry after knowledge, we seek after knowledge. We not sit down and when people come to us and tell us things, we just sit down and say, oh, well, that is that. No, we cry after knowledge, right? And lift up our voice for understanding. If we seek them out with all our hearts, right? As silver and searches for her as hid treasures. That is just to say, to search with all our hearts. Then we shall understand the fear of Yahuah and find the knowledge of Yahuah. And that's why we say they don't know. We always say they do not know Yahuah. When we are speaking, they understand God, G-O-D. They don't know Yahuah Sabaoth. So when we tell them that this is not how Yahuah thinks or not, there's always a argument as to, no, but God don't do this and God don't do that. Because they are referring to another mighty one. It's not the Most High. They do not know him because they don't understand the fear of Yahuah. Verse 6.
Verse 6. For Yahweh giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
All right, so to whom does he give wisdom? To whom does he give wisdom? Those who do what? Wayne.
Oh, okay. Who seek for wisdom by obeying.
Those who fear him.
Yeah, by obeying his commandment.
Those who fear him. Point blank. The fear of Yahuah is the beginning of wisdom. So those who fear him, he gives wisdom out of his mouth. He gives wisdom, and out of his mouth cometh knowledge. So they get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding through fearing Yahuah. Verse 7.
He laid up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
All right. So he ushers the righteous and he nourishes them. And he gives up sound wisdom unto them, those who fear him and do his commandments. Verse 8.
He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saint.
You see how many good things come to those who fear him?
Mm-hmm.
That is why he said David is a man of his own heart. David feared him. Feared him. And that is why David was so celebrated. Continue.
8. He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saint. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path.
So you see, when you fear Yahuah, everything comes to you. Every single thing comes to you. Yes? You understand righteousness, judgment, equity, you get wisdom, you get knowledge, you get everything. Full package. Verse 10.
When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul.
Continue.
Who leave the path of uprightness to
No,
walk in the way of
discretion.
darkness?
No, discretion shall preserve thee. 11.
Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things.
All right, so here we go. Protection now. So the fear of Yahuwah also offers protection to us. Whole lot of rewards the Most High give us for fearing him. Continue.
Number 12, 13. Who leave the path of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their path, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her mouth, and forgetteth the covenant of her Yahuah. Scroll up.
So these are all the protection. We will even be protected from the strange woman, the fear of Yahuwah, and from the wicked people who do wicked things and plot wickedness in our paths. And this brings us up to the nowadays, this mark of the beast thing that is coming up. It is those who fear Yahuwah who are going to be counted worthy to escape the things that are on this earth. Right? You have to fear Yahuwah, and then he will preserve you from all this wickedness that is coming. Where am I? Yeah, I'm at 17.
17.
Now, want to reiterate that fearing Yahuwah means keeping his commandments. You cannot fear Yahuwah. You cannot get all of these benefits, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, protection, unless you keep his commandments. Impossible. Law done away with, anyone?
No.
Psalm 25, verse 12.
25:12. What man is he that feareth Yahuah? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose.
All right, so the Most High is going to guide you. I'm going to see the way now that you shall choose. Proverbs 13:13. This is the way that he shall choose. 13:13.
Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
All right, so this is the way. Right? Acts 10:34-35. Everything is intertwined. Everything is intertwined with the fear of Yahuwah. 34-35. Read, please.
Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, I perceive that Yahuah is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
He that what?
Feareth him.
Oh, so only those who fear him and work righteousness as a result of fearing him are accepted with him. Yes? And these include people of other nations. For those who are saying that salvation is only to Israel, he will extend his hand to those from the other nations who fear him and work righteousness and join themselves to his people. One law shall be to him and to the stranger that sojourneth among you. Ecclesiasticus 19:24, Sirach 19:24. Read, please. No, I did
19.
this before. No, I did this before.
Okay.
21:11. Read, please.
21:11. He that keepeth the law of Yahuah getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of Yahuah is wisdom.
All right. So here it is now. If you keep the law of Yahuwah, you get the understanding from Torah. All right. And the perfection of the fear of Yahuwah is wisdom. Wisdom is the perfection of the fear of Yahuwah. So in wisdom, you fear Yahuwah, you get his wisdom. His wisdom will lead you to understanding the law of Yahuwah, and they will get more and more understanding. All right. Okay. We're gonna see a little bit more insights into the fear of Yahuwah because it is so broad. There is so much to it. Everything stems from the fear of Yahuwah. Everything. Everything. Michelet 8:13. Proverbs 8:13.
Proverbs 8:13. The fear of Yahuah is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the way forward mouth do I hate.
All right. So when you fear Yahuwah, you hate evil, you hate pride and arrogance and evil mouth and evil way and the forward mouth. So everything that the Most High hates, you also hate. That is what comes from the fear of Yahuwah. Because his spirit will be in you, and that spirit will lead you to the same heavenly desires that he has. Proverbs 19:23. As the Messiah said, that they all may be one, as we are one, you in them, and I in you. We are one. So whatever he hates, we hate. Proverbs 19:23.
23. The fear of Yahuah tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil.
See it there? In English, there it is. The fear of Yahuwah tendeth to life. There is no life without the fear of Yahuwah. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, these people in these religions, they have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing because they have not been taught the way of Yahuwah. The fear of Yahuwah tendeth to life, and he that had it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. The fear of Yahuwah, being afraid of Yahuwah, insulates you from evil. That is why it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. All right? So when you fear him, he just gathers you under his wing and he protects you. Every good thing comes that you just fear him, humble yourself before him, to be fearful of him and his judgments, and he just takes care of you. That's it. Whatever you not want, whatever you need, he will provide. When the evil day comes, as the evil day is coming, that is when he will protect you. That is when you're going to see supernatural power over you. In this mark of the beast thingy that is coming up, those who reject it, we are now fearful. People are looking fearful. Then what if this happens? Then what is it? Don't know that. Then if. Fear Yahuwah and do not fear man. Fear Yahuwah and do not fear man, and Yahuwah is going to show you what it means for him to protect you, to have you under his wings. You watch and see. And they say, mark my words, because the word of Yahuwah shall not come back void. Proverbs 9:10-11. Am I going too fast? Are you getting, is it soaking in?
Yeah, it's for me, it is working in.
Shamuel, you're there? All right. Don't hear him. All right. Proverbs 9:10.
The fear of Yahuwah, 9:10.
Yeah.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by
So of
me,
course again it says the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning. That's where wisdom starts, with the fear of Yahuwah and the knowledge of the holy. So getting to know him, getting the knowledge and understanding of him, of course, which he of course reserves. But when you fear him, he releases his wisdom so you get to know him. And then that is understanding. Verse 11.
for by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased.
So because you fear him, you get long life. You see how many good things come from fearing him?
So, brother,
Yes.
so one can use this verse and say, "For by me thy days shall be multiplied." So it is not really about the medication and all those things, you know.
No.
It's just really, I always say that if you fear him and do everything, everything will just fall right in place.
Yep. He will put everything in place for you.
Yeah.
And the years of thy life shall be increased just because you fear him. It's very important, to understand, that it is about fearing him, It's not being religious or just going about, because there's a difference with fearing him and being a believer. Being a believer, going through the paces and you go according to your own, what should I say, temperature? You go according to your own pace. You go according, you gauge things for yourself. All right? But when you fear him, it is he that is dictating the pace. And when things come upon you, you do what is right at all times because you fear him. When you do not fear him and things come upon you, you choose to do what you feel to do at any particular given time, whatever mood you're in. All right? You might feel like obeying, now you obey. Next time you don't feel like obey, you just go and you transgress. This is why I'm telling you that this group does not truly know the fear of Yahuwah. We fear Yahuwah, but we do not truly know the fear. All right? Because some things we put off and we, it is, if we had the fear of Yahuwah, then we would not have done it. And so important, I'm telling you, it's about the fear of Yahuwah. Mishlei 10:27. Go ahead, please.
10:27. The fear of Yahweh prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
You see that? Those of you who want to live long, who are looking for the secret of life, who are searching down herbs and food, whatever, for you to live long, that is very good. But without the fear of Yahuwah, that could be, I'm not saying it could be a waste of time. It is the fear of Yahuwah that lengthens your days. Proverbs 14:26-27. Hoping everything is sinking in.
Yeah,
Whole lot
I
of
think it's
scriptures.
pretty straight.
What was that, Wayne?
I think it is pretty straightforward.
Yep.
14:26.
Yeah.
In the fear of Yahweh is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge.
You see that again, even your children benefit from this fear of Yahuwah that you have. All right? And his children shall have a place of refuge. So when the children are in trouble, the Most High will hide your children For you. Verse 27.
The fear of Yahweh is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death.
There we go again, Wayne. We are talking about fearing him and life and health.
Yep.
Ah.
Just fearing.
Proverbs
fear,
15.
fear.
Just fear. And when I'm finished this, I'm going to give an example of what I'm talking about, the fear of Yahuwah, and to show just what he can do, because he has shown me. And I am fearful of him. Trust me on that one. Proverbs 15:16. Read, please.
Better is a little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasure and trouble therewith.
Oh, we did that. We did that.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah. So even if you want to get riches, those people who are thinking about, I want to get rich, I want to have money. Proverbs 22:4. Read, please. No, not 4. It's 22:4. No, it's the wrong one. Oh. Let me see. Let me get this. I want to get this one out. Proverbs 22:4. Yeah. I was at the wrong place. Read 22:4, please.
22:4. Remove your search bar. Okay. By humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches and honor and life.
So we remember we said we're humble when we have the fear of Yahuwah. And it brings riches, it brings honor, and it brings life.
Stop. So, Brother B.
Yeah,
Brother B. But look, man, some place there in the same proverb, it says, labor not for riches, because it will put out its wings and fly away. But if we be humble and fear the Most High, guess what happened? Those are our riches.
Yes.
Those are our riches.
Yep.
So if we can bypass being humble and fear the Most High and go over and seek riches, we can't do that.
Nope.
Man, this is some good teaching, man, for real.
Seek ye first the kingdom, yeah?
Yeah.
Same thing. Proverbs 23. I have to go quickly through them. There's so many of them. Proverbs 23:17. But each one of them gives a different outlook. So when you put all of them together, it just gives you, it's very astounding. Proverbs 23:17.
You mean 23?
17.
Okay. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of Yahuwah all the day long.
So if you fear Yahuwah, then you are not going to envy sinners. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of Yahuwah all the day long. Because as we said before, the fear of Yahuwah comes with all benefits greater than the things that you are seeing with sinners. This joke compares to what the Most High gives us when we fear him. All right. Verse 18 says?
Verse 18, for surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off.
All right. So there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. So what he's saying that at the beginning, as David had said in Psalm 73, when he looks upon sinners, he almost envied them. But then he realized that they are on a slippery slope. So this is saying, for surely there is an end. So it is at the end that the people of the Most High who fear the Most High actually get their reward. Yes? The sinners get their reward early and for a short time. All right? Until it is taken away. But what the people of the Most High get is in the end, and their expectation, they are fearing Yahuwah and expecting to be provided to be lifted up, but they will be lifted up in the end. Psalms 111. 5 to 10. Read, please.
111:5. He hath given meat unto them that fear him. He will ever be mindful of his covenant. He hath shewed his people.
Stop. He hath given meat unto them that fear him. Food, provision are to those that fear. You see, everything comes from fearing. Everything. He will ever be mindful of his covenant. He will not forget his covenant that you made with him, because if you fear him, then you are going to be in covenant with him. And when you are in covenant with him, he will ever be reminded of his covenant. He will never forget. Verse 6.
He hath shewed his people the power of his work, that he may give them in the heritage of the heathen.
He may give them the heritage of the heathen. So all the riches that the heathen today are amassing and putting together, trying to set up their new world order to try to organize, all of that will be given to his people in the end. All right? Verse
So
7.
just for someone who might be asking question, just in case. So you see, so for the ones right now, even those wicked people who are trying to rule the world, rule everything, you know, the time will come when their time will be altered, and the chosen people will be there. So all that they do will be for the chosen people.
Yes, and of course that is in the gospel, Isaiah 61. As we say that, let's just jump there. Verse 5.
And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
All right, so this is what's going to happen in the end when he yet chooses Israel and returns them to their own land. Strangers shall stand and feed their flocks. The strangers shall be the servants. But we're going to see the riches of the Gentiles. Verse 6.
But ye shall be named the priests of Yahuah. Men shall call you the ministers of your Yahuah. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
That's it. You shall eat the heritage of the heathen. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. Boast yourselves in their glory. That's what's going to happen in the end.
Yeah.
All right. But it is for those who fear Yahuwah. Verse 7.
7. The works of his hands are verity and judgment. All his commandments are sure.
All his commandments are sure.
Not
Verse
some.
8.
They stand fast forever and ever, and are done in truth and uprightness.
He did not only say forever, it says forever and ever, and are done in truth and uprightness. So his Torah is done in truth, and they are calling it a lie by saying it's done away with. And it is done in uprightness, and they are saying that it is no longer good. Verse 9.
Verse 9. He sent redemption unto his people. He had commanded his covenant forever, holy and reverend in his name.
All right. Holy and reverend is his name. And then 10.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, a good understanding of all they do, his commandment. His praise endureth forever.
All right. So everything starts with the fear of Yahuwah. All good things come from the fear of Yahuwah. So when we fear Yahuwah, and this is very good for these times that we are in, when we fear Yahuwah, we have no need to fear Men, no need to fear what men shall do unto us. Verse 7.
7. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revilings. Reviling, sorry.
So when people are mocking us, don't be afraid of them. When they reproach us, don't be afraid of them. As long as this is addressed to the people in whose heart is his law. If you don't have his law in your heart, and people are despising his law and using these psalms to exalt, to comfort themselves. Neither be afraid of their revilings. No, this is for the people in whose heart is his law. Meaning those who not only obey rules, but those who walk in the spirit of his law, in love, mercy, judgment, faith, joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance. These are the people to whom this is addressed. Tehillim 34, Psalms 34. Go ahead.
34 verse 7. The angel of Yahuah encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them.
Okay, stop there, please. No, this is one I remember when I was in the Pentecostal church. This was the pastor says this was his favorite psalm. The angel of Yahuah encampeth around them that fear him and delivereth them. It is not speaking about those who just fear him for lip service to say they fear him and oh, he's the mighty one, he's the creator, he's this. No. He's speaking of true fear, which is a combination of that and a trembling, a dread of him. Fearful dread of him. These are the people whom he encamps around. If you fear Yahuah, Yahuah will rescue you, will help you. Verse 8.
Before I go over verse 8, so in other words, there is no true fear without obeying all his commandments. No true fear.
No.
Exactly. So to hear one say, hey, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and deliver them, period. So folks will go away with the wrong understanding, not knowing that there cannot be no true fear without Torah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, 34:8.
Yeah.
Oh, taste
Thanks
and
very
see.
much. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusted in him.
Continue.
Oh, fear Yahweh, ye his saint, for there is no want to them that fear him.
You see that?
No want. Yep.
Why you get out of that now, Wayne?
Basically, I mean, when you fear Yahweh, everything will be taken care of. Every single thing. You won't find yourself in no wants at all.
Thank you very much. Verse 10.
The young lion do lack and suffer hunger, but they that see Yahweh shall not want any good thing.
All right, so in combination with the fear of Yahuah, the fear of Yahuah will also spur you to go to seek him. If you are sitting in religion and you are not striving to know more of him and all of that, if you are just sitting in religion, okay with where you are, not willing to move from faith to faith, then you are not seeking him. And it means you do not have a fear of him. Verse 11.
Before we go to verse 11, what I found out, when we seek to obey the Most High, and when we start to observe his Sabbath, the day he separate, he make it holy between him and his people. So we all know that there is more than a Sabbath to observe. There are more to obey. But if we start to observe the Sabbath day, guess what?
Yes.
With that day, you find that you can know and see a lot more things just by observing that one day.
Exactly. And you have to go to the other part now, that you also have to seek. And when you seek, you will realize that it was not only the one day.
Exactly. And also again, you see, the whole thing was designed perfectly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Most High is all wise. Everything was so designed perfectly. So we know that so many of us, we work every day. So some work 7 days. So working 7 days, it is so impossible to really seek him the right way. So when he says rest on the seventh day, and that day you can get more understanding by seeking, because you have more time to seek more. And if you seek, you will find.
Yes.
So just by obeying that one single one, you're going to obey a lot more, because you use that one and find more.
All right. It's like a launching pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Continue. It's 12, yeah, right?
12.
No, 11.
11. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahuah.
All right. So now we're going to see what it means to fear Yahuah. It's going to teach us how to fear Yahuah. Verse 12.
12. What man is he that desireth life, and loveth many days, that he may see good?
Mm-hmm.
Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile.
All right. So when you fear Yahuah, you will not speak any evil. All right? Not any guile, not any tricks will come out of your mouth. Any deceit will come from your mouth. Verse 14.
Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it.
That is the fear of Yahuah. Continue.
The eyes of Yahuah are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry.
So when we fear him, this is what happens. His eyes are upon us and his ears are open to our cries. But this is also the part of the fear. This is what I'm telling you about the fear, dreading Yahuah now. Verse
Brother
16.
B, 1 second there. Back on 15, the ones that he hear the cry. So for that person who live as he or she like, live in sin knowingly and all those things, when that person or persons find himself in dark situation, they're gonna cry out.
Yes.
So basically, the Most I will not really hear those cry.
No. Depending on certain situations.
Well, if this cry for mercy to change from those ways, you know.
Yeah, depending on his mercy, he might hear their cry, knowing that they are crying with a repentant. There's a whole lot of things to it. Knowing that they might be crying with a repentant heart, and knowing that and knowing what will happen after they have been taken out of this. It's a very complicated thing. Because sometimes he delivers us as well in order to be a witness against us. So we'll be in trouble and we cry unto him and he takes us out. And he knows in our hearts that when he takes us out, we make certain promises to him. You know, we're not going to keep those promises, but it is a witness against us on that day. And you cried unto me and I answered. And what did you do? You turned your back on me. You understand?
Yeah.
Says it's more complicated than that, but generally speaking, we can't put a blanket on it, but generally speaking, you will not hear their cry. So where are we now?
The one that says cry, I think that was.
Oh, so we're at
17.
17, yes.
Ready?
No, 16. To
16?
show we are showing the bad part of it, why we have to be fearful of him. Verse, read please.
16. The face of Yahuah is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth.
All right, hold on. Yeah, to cut off the remembrance of them. Where am I? To cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. This is what you have to be fearful of. Fearful that we do not do evil, so that we be the remembrance of us cut off from the earth. Continue.
17. The righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles.
Not some of their troubles, but all their troubles. Continue.
Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
Continue.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivered him out of them all.
All right. So every good thing comes from the fear of Yahuah. Every good thing. All right. Proverbs 16:6-7. Read, please.
16:6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of Yahuwah, men depart from evil.
You see that?
Yeah.
By the mercy and by the fear of Yahuwah, men depart from evil. So you cannot say you fear Yahuwah and you are transgressing the commandments. Verse 7.
When a man's ways please Yahuwah, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Now, one more of the benefits of fearing Yahuwah. When you fear him, his ways will please you, your ways will please him. All right. Where am I? So the servants of the Most High will fear Yahuwah. You cannot say you are his servant or you are his and you do not fear him. Job 1:8, read please.
Job 1:8. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahuwah, and escheweth evil.
Yeah, you see that? Here are properties of a true person who fears Yahuwah. Perfect and upright, fear Yahuwah, and hate evil, despise evil. Let me get the exact meaning of escheweth. Decline, depart, go aside, leave undone, depart from. Okay, so depart from evil, remove evil, take away, turn aside from, withdraw from, shun evil. All right? So the true believer will be one who shuns evil. But the wicked, what about the wicked? The wicked have no fear of Yahuwah whatsoever. So anybody who come under the definition of not fearing Yahuwah are the wicked. Oh, this is the wrong one. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can find the exact verse because I need to get this one. Wow. not getting this on the screen. Oh, yes, it's 8:13. Read verse 13, please.
Ecclesiastes 8:13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahuah.
All right, so because he doesn't fear Yahuah, he's counted as the wicked. Because remember, with fear, he will not, if he does not fear him, he will not get wisdom, and he will not get knowledge, neither will he get understanding, neither will he walk in obedience to his Torah. And because of that, his days will be shortened, will be as a shadow that blows away. But those who fear him will be disciplined, will get chastened. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 32. So when you come into faith, when you come into belief, prepare yourselves to be chastened. Prepare yourselves to be disciplined. Prepare for some tough times as the Most High transforms you through the difficult things and times that happen, that you will go through. Verse 14, read please.
Whoso feareth Yahuah will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor.
So there are two things to it. Here it's giving you the two sides. You're going to receive his discipline. You are going to be chastened. You're going to go through some tough times and you wonder and say, oh, what's happening? But on the other hand, they that seek him early shall find favor. So you're still finding favor even through the chastening. All right? So, what about us in the New Testament? The New Testament is given for those of us who fear Yahuah. Nothing has changed. The word is for those who fear Yahuah. Verse 26, this was Peter speaking to the children of Israel when the new covenant, when the Holy Spirit came upon them. Read, please.
26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth Yahuah, to you is word of this salvation sent.
All right. So the word of salvation, salvation through the Messiah, is sent to those who fear Yahuah. So nothing has changed. We must have the fear of Yahuah in us, or else you are in trouble. Hebrews 10:26. Grace is a dangerous thing. Hebrews 10:26. They celebrate that they are under grace. It's dangerous because we don't know what is coming at the judgment. Verse 26.
For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
Continue.
27. But a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries.
This is what is coming for those who sin willfully after having known the truth and accept the Messiah. It's not a pretty look. Verse 28.
He that despised Moses' law died without mercy on the 2 or 3 witnesses.
Now, this is now telling us that he's not speaking about the old covenant. He's speaking of this covenant. Verse 29.
29. Of how much sorrow punishment, suppose he, shall he be thought worthy, who had trodden under foot the son of Yahuah, and had counted the blood of the covenant, wherewith he was sanctified and an unholy thing, and had done despite unto the Spirit of grace.
All right, so this is telling us now that you died under Moses' law, under 2 or 3 witnesses. What do you think is coming for you? This is why we're saying that we have to be fearful of his judgments. What do we think is coming for us who have trodden underfoot the Messiah after he has offered up himself for us? So we have counted the blood of the covenant an unholy thing and done despite unto the spirit of grace. So we done despite unto grace by saying we are in grace and we know it is okay for us to sin. And the Apostle Shaul handled that. The Apostle Shaul said, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Yah forbid. Yes? So this is telling us of how dangerous it is. And we're going to see that we have to fear the Most High. Nothing has changed. Verse 30.
Scroll up a little bit. 30. For we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, said Yahuah. And again, Yahuah shall judge his people.
Here is why we have to be fearful. Most of us in the new covenant, going through the new covenant, are so lethargic. We are so not just so religious, going through the paces. I'm a Christian, and so the Messiah is going to come and rescue me. Some of us in the faith, I'm an Israelite, so he's coming to save Israel. Nonchalantly going through religion, not realizing that we have to fear. And it is when we fear Yahuah in our covenant, then we'll be circumspect and do that which is right in his sight. It is because we don't fear him why we are going to be sinning willfully. Continue, verse 31.
It is a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living Yahuah.
Oh, I thought that was Old Testament. I thought he was changed now in the New Testament. Read it again.
It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yahuah.
This is why we have to fear him. You feel that, Wayne?
Yeah, yes, man, it is there. Have to.
That is why we have to fear him. And let me just finish off with my testimony of a couple things that happened to me. I've said it before, but it is kind of the time to do it now, to illustrate what I'm talking about with the fear of Yahuah. It might not have happened to some of us as yet, or should I say has not happened to some of us because you don't want it to be as yet, because the Most High is giving us this to draw us up. You know, it's like you're slacking in class and everything, and then the teacher calls the principal, and the principal just comes in and makes it be. I always use school because I spend so much horrified years in school. Anytime I have nightmares, I dream that I'm actually in school again. And I wake up. Babylonian school system. Yeah. So this is the Most High drawing us up, showing us that we need to fear him, tremble at his word. Right? Because I remember, and if you've heard this before, let's go to the agony again. I remember when it was around the time when I was getting some word about the Nidska that it was not proper. I was connected to the mark of the beast. And I was actually dilly-dallying around, not knowing whether I should go and I should speak out about it. So one day I was around the computer and you know, once again it came across my mind. So when it came across my mind, all of a sudden, and I realized it, a little after that I realized it. All of a sudden, the Most High took his Holy Spirit from me. I cannot forget that feeling. I felt empty, lost, and this is why I can't go back to sin. This is why this has to be unto death. I can't go back into sin. He made me feel at that time what it is like to be without his spirit. Because being in the way for the years, it seems as if you get complacent, you get comfortable as you are, not remembering how you were before. And when he took away his spirit, I felt lost. I felt confused, fearful. Every single negative thing you can think about. I started trembling, nervous, every single thing you can think about. And then I felt at that instant that this was how I felt when I was in sin and I had problems. And right away it came to me. I said to myself, okay, let me go and read the Bible. Brethren, when I picked up the Bible and I looked at the words, I could not understand it. And this is why I get the understanding. This incident has shown me a whole lot because I get the understanding of how the words are spiritual. And only when he has given his own Holy Spirit, that is the only when time it can be actually deciphered. I kept reading the verse over and over again. Simple things. It was a simple verse. I don't remember exactly. And I could not understand it. And then I was confused, but something just come to me and said, start writing. And then I just start writing on the laptop, trembling. And it was difficult to write at the start, but then everything just came back to normal, just like that. And it never, ever happened again. And I started writing, and I wrote an article about the NIDS card and its connection to the mark of the beast. Yes? So that is why he has taught me the fear of him. Because that having come to me and happened to me again, I said, no, I don't want ever that to happen to me again. So it helps my diligence. So, if people see me doing certain things and living certain way, the fear of Yahuah is in the background. It's not only because of my desire to say yes. The natural man in me would want to slip back. But the fear of Yahuah just keeps pushing me, fearful of what will happen to me. Another time, I don't remember what I was to do this time because you see, whenever I have to do something and I don't do it, the Most High really deals with me harshly. As I say, is no respecter of persons. My life was going through a rough time. I could always count on the Most High for providing, and the Most High even stopped his provision. And he sent a prophet to tell me that no, he warned me before. And so when this was happening, it came back to me. He warned me before that he would make my sky brass and my earth iron if I don't do what I am supposed to do. And so when everything started happening to me, that came, and then the prophet came again and said, I don't know what you're supposed to do. You have to find out what you need to do. Because he told me again that he's going to make your sky brass and your earth iron. So said, so done. I went through such a rough patch in my life. Rough, until I figured. I don't remember exactly what it was. Until I figured what I was supposed to do. And when I did it, what was it again? I don't remember. And when I did it, everything just started turning around. Yes? So the fear of Yahuwah is right there, right there in the background. And this, I'm saying this to say that all of us have to get that fear, because you do not want to reach to that point. It's hell on earth. Yes? When you reach to that point, when he now decides that he's going to get rough, he's going to execute a judgment on you. All right? Another time, and this is why you see I'm so strident again with the radio ministry, because the radio ministry was sent again by a prophet who came and advised me. And with the prophecy, the prophet says, don't tell anyone what the dream said. So I can't tell the dream, but I will tell what the dream actually meant. What the dream actually meant was that I was responsible to bring his word to the whole world, and I should do it from home through a radio station. And if I do not get the word out, the blood of all of these people are upon my shoulder. So if you see me working tirelessly and looking as if, even now, I went to my, what time did I go to my bed this morning? I went to my bed almost 3 o'clock. I woke up again 5 o'clock. So, and I traveled to Kingston yesterday and back. So I am extremely tired, but I cannot relent, because the fear of Yahuwah is in me. So because if the fear of Yahuwah was not in me, I would try to find a space for myself. I say, oh, working so hard, I need to sleep. No, something inside me will not sleep, because the fear of Yahuwah is right there with me. So he says the blood of these people are upon my shoulder. And this is why I'm telling you, people in the radio ministry, you have to shape up. This is a warning. This teaching is a warning to you all. Fear Yahuwah. Whatever you say you will do it. Let your A's be A's and your nays be nays. Because this is a charge for the people of this world. It might look simple to you. He says the blood is upon my shoulder. And if you are called to be a part of it, then you also bear a part of the responsibility. And pretty soon, if you all don't stand up to the responsibility, as they say in Jamaica, he's going to page you. And you don't want that, all right? So let us just understand the fear of Yahuwah and know that every true believer must be driven by a fear of Yahuwah. And the fear of Yahuwah is good, because I'm happy that I have this fear of him, because it takes away a lot of the lethargy. It's still there. The lethargy is still there, but a lot of the lethargy is taken away when I am alerted within my mind and say, no, you can't play with Yahuwah, you can't romp with him. Yes? So it is a very good thing to fear Yahuwah. And of course, as we just saw, it comes with all the benefits. Okay? So, any questions or comments as on this teaching today, the fear of Yahuwah? Floor is open. What time did we do on YouTube?
Check and see.
I
It's
expect
almost 2 hours.
okay, great. If we can get it below 2 hours, then we are good. Shamual, Wayne, need your contributions, please.
Well, for me, it is an eye opener, definitely. And what I see about this teaching today, it was right there without us realizing that it is there. So we definitely, you know what, week upon weeks, what we find out, or what I find out, it is something I always say, never feel like you're there. Never feel like you're there. because what I experience is every single week, it is so proven that there are room for improvement. And we have to keep on pushing towards improving. One way we can start, let's speak for the radio ministry. Whatever it is that is in the way, now is the time to put it beside or put it behind and make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. If you make up in your heart to do 5 things, guess what? It already come from your mouth. And the Most High is expecting 5 things. So you have to make sure that you do whatever it takes to bring forth that 5 things. If you plan to do 1, it is easy on you. You go and do your 1 things. But whatever it is that we pledge to, the Most High is expecting it. And we cannot say, oh, it's a mistake. We cannot say, oh, I didn't know. He is really expecting that which we say yeah to. And we see again much clearer that we can fear him. We are saying that we fear him, but if we are not obeying the Most High, what will prove that we fear him? It is never 1. It is always 2, hands in hand, faith and works. You know, so we fear the Most High. We will do what he said we are supposed to do. And I asked someone last week, is it difficult to live a life that's pleasing to the Most High? Some say yes and some say no. And what I believe, what I know, is that as long as the Most High place things on us, it is because he knows that we can handle it. So if we know that, now whatever is placed on us, we have to know that it is because the Most High know that we can do it. So the next thing is just to do it, perform it, whatever it takes, let's get it done.
Just
Because
do it.
Brother Brian's testimony, I'm almost sure that no one want to be that person. No one want to be that person. But his testimony, just like Job and Moses and all them, their lifestyle to us now is a way to learn. We learn from their experiences. So right now, the very same thing we are seeing with Brother Brian, what he had experienced, we are trying our best to not find ourselves in the same situation. So what do? We have to do what Brother Brian did not do, or we have to not do what he did. So we might escape being in that situation. Just let's, you see, the next thing is, we have to know that we are going to put everything of this world behind. We cannot bring the cares of this world with us doing the Most High's work. So it is comes what may, we have to put whatever is in the way behind to put Yahuah up. And guess what? Whatever we put behind, if it is needed, then the Most High will make it happen afterwards. So that's just my few contributions for now.
All right, let me close off this before we continue. Let me close it off on YouTube. Thanks once again for watching our weekly broadcast. This is Eliyahu Yasharal here from Just a Word. You can watch the replay or continue to watch us, watch our videos on Just a Word TV, justaword.tv. There, you will not only find our videos, but you will find a whole lot of hand-picked videos of truth that we find that should be useful to those who are seeking truth. A very nice repository of great videos that will open up your mind and your eyes to the way of truth. So thank you all for watching. Please comment, share, like, subscribe to our videos, and share the videos with others so that the word can go around. Hope this helped, and hope you continue to watch our videos. All right. So you can continue listening to us on Just a Word Radio at justawordradio.com. All right. Shalom until next